It's been 2 weeks at the time of this video since the DailyWire Plus dropped the first trailer for its upcoming epic fantasy series, the Pendragon Cycle, Rise of the Merlin. And before it even releases, it looks like the show is going to be a huge disaster. And that's kind of sad because based on the trailer, the show looks like it has promise. As a fan of the books, I want to like it, but I have serious problems with the platform that's airing it and the way they are absolutely screwing up the marketing of this show. At the time of this video, the trailer has nearly 6 million views on DailyWire's YouTube channel. So at first glance, that seems to be a hit, right? But looks can be deceiving. Those views are almost certainly mostly DailyWire subscribers, and they always show up for DailyWire. Good for them, I guess. But outside that echo chamber, the trailer landed like a gigantic dud. No one is talking about it, aside from a handful of small channels who have no presence in the algorithm. I wouldn't have known about any of them if I hadn't gone out of my way to search for them. Where are the conservative nerd culture influencers to boost this trailer? After all, DailyWire is supposedly doing what all of them seem to say they want someone to do for years, which is provide alternative high-quality entertainment that will shape culture, not just critique it. At least that's what DailyWire says they're doing, but the way they've bungled the marketing here says otherwise, and might point to some drama behind the scenes that could scuttle the show before it even launches. DailyWire basically just dropped this trailer with no fanfare, no hype at all outside their own YouTube channel. Huge missed opportunity here. There's a whole ecosystem of conservative and right-leaning pop culture channels that DailyWire should have reached out to try and get some buzz going. Use that radicalization pipeline in reverse. Get Nerdrotic or Critical Drinker or Geeks and Gamers or any of their orbiters some advance notice and offer them a little treat to hype the trailer. Maybe offer their fans a discount code for DailyWire memberships when the show launches. Something like that. But nope. Instead, they just hoped it would do its own work. Only 2 conservative pop culture channels reacted to the trailer at all at the time of this video, and neither of them even seemed to understand what they were looking at.
Seamus, I saw you flinch a couple of times.
Yeah, so initially I was very impressed. The production value is very clearly high, and it's obvious that they're trying to make something that can compete with mainstream Hollywood. I have no idea why there needed to be a half-naked woman prancing around in her underwear. I have no idea why there needed to be a scene of 2 actors making out. I think that conservatives can't win the culture war without making culture, and our culture can't feature the devil's iconography. We can't use the tools that have been used against us to subjugate us in our own media.
We shall see if this is a huge success, but the whole thing is it's to drive subs. How do you drive subs for one movie? Subscribe for a month, watch the movie? I mean, why don't they just release, first of all, yes, make movies, but just release them in the ecosystem that currently exists.
Speaking of trailer reactions, Pendragon Cycle didn't hit the reaction space at all. None of the big channels who normally react to other fantasy and sci-fi trailers noticed this one. Again, that falls on DailyWire. They should have been hyping this show a lot more if they wanted it to have a chance to be a big hit. They've already got an uphill battle here. As a platform, their brand is not known for producing entertainment. They are a news and politics commentary outlet. Sure, they've made some scripted narrative content in the past, but none of that has been a big hit outside their own bubble either. So new audiences are not incentivized to sign up, especially if they are averse to DailyWire's political message. Nobody wants to get spammed by political or fundraising emails just for signing up to watch one show about the rise of Merlin. Signing up? This would be true regardless of which political direction the platform leans. If Young Turks or the Midas Touch Network suddenly started trying to be entertainment companies instead of news and politics outlets without forging relationships with bigger entertainment outlets, they would have the same problem. The smart move here would be to strike a distribution deal with another streaming platform and release the Pendragon Cycle there. Someplace where audiences already go to find new shows and movies. That would maximize its chances for success, if it's actually a good show. This approach worked like gangbusters for Dallas Jenkins and his show, The Chosen, which you can watch almost anywhere these days. The Chosen garnered a huge fan base because it's a great show, independent of its political or religious views. And it launched a whole chosen universe of conservative religious programming that's streaming on mainstream platforms where most people go to find new stuff. There is a market for well-made conservative content on mainstream platforms. The success of The Chosen and its related projects is proof of that. Nothing about being a filmmaker with conservative views requires anyone to try and recreate the Hollywood system from scratch. Plenty of conservative creatives thrive within and alongside and in partnership with Hollywood. But DailyWire seems really averse to trying that. It's really weird, and it's really killing the Pendragon Cycle's chances. They seem insistent on doing their own thing, even though that's never worked for any of their other scripted content before. But I suspect that in this case, their hearts are no longer in it. Just look at how they dropped this trailer. They stuck it at the end of a 90-minute panel show with a bunch of DailyWire hosts, and showrunner Jeremy Boring wasn't even a live guest with them. Instead, he delivered a pre-recorded statement from an undisclosed location, and then after the trailer ran, this was all that the live hosts had to say about it.
Well, I mean, if that doesn't look like a blockbuster to you, I don't know what does.
Yeah, I don't want to take too much credit because it looks great. I don't want to take too much credit, but I do want to say that I did most of the stunts.
That's true.
So, yeah.
Not, you know, the other thing watching it is it kind of reminds you, this is the thing that sets us apart. You know, this is like kind of what the whole thing has been about. Is making culture, and it's just so preposterously ambitious and big and beautiful. I'm very excited.
Again, then this company started in Jeremy's pool house, and so we can't thank you enough. The people who have made this possible, our subscribers, our all access members, all the people who watch our shows, and all the rest, because honestly, without you, we don't get to make things like that and try and change the culture and try and change the world by changing the culture, which is something we've done over and over with Matt's movies and with the other movies we made, and then with this brand new, massive, I think, incredible series from Jeremy, the Pendragon Cycle.
And from there, they went right into an ad read and ended the show. Like I said, no hype. They all seem really bored by it, honestly. None of them offered insight into the show's story or discussed any connection they had to the material. Matt Walsh was clearly thinking about something else.
Girls between the ages of like 17 and 24 is when they're technically most fertile. Yeah. Okay?
This whole thing felt like Boring is persona non grata over there, and the rest of them were just fulfilling a contract obligation. And this is made all the worse by how DailyWire has defined the nature of the show. They've started re-releasing their old production diaries with new title cards that now describe the Pendragon Cycle as a 7-part series. Not a first season, which is what it was before. Just a limited series, I guess. You think they'd give it a bigger chance than that if they really believed in the project. The rumors about this show basically bankrupting the Daily Wire and leading to Jeremy Boring getting forced out of his CEO position are not being laid to rest here. Now, I don't really know what's going on with all of that. What I do know is that the show looks like it has real potential, and Daily Wire seems hell-bent on killing it in its crib with a terrible marketing strategy that shows they don't understand how entertainment media actually works. And that's a shame, because the books this show is based on are pretty good, and a quality streaming series could breathe new life into their fandom. But not if Daily Wire keeps fumbling the ball like this. It feels almost intentional. It's almost like they're agents of Morgan, not Myrthen. But let me know what you think in the comments. Make all the proper sacrifices to the great god algorithm in the forms of likes, shares, and subscribes. And until next time, remember that what's best in life is to crush your enemies, see them driven before you, and engage in discourse with the women. Thanks for watching.